guys, before I start the video, don't forget to vote in the upper right corner for which car you think is going to win this race. Also, come on you guys, don't forget to follow us on Instagram. We have a great time over there. Thanks. This is a 1969 Dodge Dart GTS 340. And I'm not gonna lie you guys, I love this car. And I think that most people do, and it's probably because it's such a great underdog. I mean, it might be a small block 340, but these things are definitely underrated. It's kind of like that guy that we all knew in high school that he seemed kind of dumb, but then later on you find out that he did some really great things. Wait a minute, there's no drag racing going on in here.
Mr. GTS, what's the reason for your truancy?
Couldn't make it, dude. I was having a feast of 110 octane.
Gasoline will be consumed on your time.
We're talking about a compression ratio of 10.5 to 1, not to mention heads with huge valves, a high lift cam, a Carter 4-barrel carburetor, and a set of free-flowing exhaust manifolds. Alright, so let's see if we can explain this with a math equation. 69 Dodge Dart 340, 10.5 to 1 compression ratio. You carry the 2, and that equals that my pants are splitting at the seams. Oh, and not to mention, more power! Because we're talking 275 very underrated horsepower at 5,000 RPM and 340 pound-feet of torque at 3,200 RPM. And I know that doesn't sound like very much, but keep in mind, this car with driver is coming in at only 3,562 pounds, so that little 340 is definitely gonna put up a fight.
Fuck off! Go ahead and attack me, big fuck! Oh my god.
And I don't want to see anybody in the comments section small block shaming this car, okay? Hashtag small blocks matter.
What are you people? On dope?
You could get a 4-speed manual in these cars, or like this one, you could opt for the 3-speed automatic, and it's a torque flight, and you know these things are pretty darn quick for automatic transmissions. And let's just take a moment to really enjoy the interior of this car, you guys, because it's awesome. I love this interior. It's gorgeous. It's like tequila. It makes my clothes come off. I want you guys to marinate in that thought for a few seconds. Standard rear gearing on the GTS was a 323, but not this one because it features 430 gears. And that might sound like a little bit too much gearing, but remember, those 340s love to rev. They're pretty much like a screaming banshee, kind of like my ex-girlfriend.
Most women at one time or another have faked it.
Well, they haven't faked it with me.
Yes! 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 Oh!
I'll have what she's having.
Wait a minute. Girls can fake it? And you might be wondering, well, how quick was this car when it was originally tested? And what do you know? Our old pal Bud is coming through for us again.
The acceleration of the Swinger won't give curvature of the spine, but it's still pretty swift. We ran 0 to 60 in 7.3.
Now, Bud didn't give us a quarter-mile time, but Car and Driver tested it in September of 1968, and they ran a 14.4 at 99 miles per hour. But keep in mind, you guys, pure stock racing allows certain modifications, and so you know that this car is going to run faster than a 14.4. Just read the video description box if you want to learn more about those approved modifications. Thanks. But enough talk about this Dodge Dart GTS. Let's check out its opponent. This is a 1965 Pontiac Gran Turismo Omologato, or GTO as a peasant might say. Delicious! And arguably the GTO was the first muscle car ever made, and so for a lot of us it's like that first true love, the one that we never forgot. You know what I mean, you dogs. We're talking 360 horsepower at 5,200 RPM, and that's up 12 horsepower from the 1964 model with Tripower, and not to mention 424 pound-feet of torque at 3,600 RPM, all with a compression ratio of 10.75 to 1. A 3-speed manual transmission was the standard in these cars, but you could upgrade to a super turbine 2-speed automatic or a 4-speed manual, and that just happens to be what this car features. Fuck yeah. And what do you guys think about that red interior? It is hot! I love it. It reminds me of my Valentine's Day.
Babe, it's Valentine's Day, you know what that means?
Woo! You better call into work tomorrow. I'm about to suck the soul out of you.
Rear gear options for the 65 GTO ranged anywhere from a 308 all the way to a 390. And what do you think this car has? Wrong. 390. Oh, did you say 390? Yeah, you're right then. Car Life tested a 1965 Pontiac GTO and it ran the quarter mile in 14.5 seconds at 100 miles per hour. But again, it's pure stocks. They allow some tasteful modifications. This car is going to run quicker than a 14.5. Just a heads up, you guys.
One of the wide-track Tigers from Pontiac. GTO.
I guess we'll just have to wait and see if this goat really is the greatest of all time. Enough talk about these two cars. Let's see what they can do on the drag strip.
Tripower, Mercedes car, 390 years, and Frank Rebler, I'd like to thank him and his wife for speaking today. Dodge Dart GTS, 1969, very nice car. 345, never discounted. Frank Rebler.
And the Dart ran a very impressive 13.36 at 101.97 miles per hour, but he did red light, so the win actually goes to the GTO, which ran a 13.45 at 102.11 miles per hour. Let's see what happens in the second round.
GTO going against Frank Remlinger, Harbor Woods, Michigan. Detroit suburb, Dodge Dart GTS 340. If you have a Dodge Dart GTS or a Dart 3, you need to talk to this guy because he runs a registry on it. I'm sure he'll let you speak to this guy in the car.
And another close one with the Dart taking the win, running a 13.41 at 101.66 miles per hour, but the GTO wasn't too far behind, running a 13.55 at 102.5 miles per hour. Now I do have to tell you guys, for some reason the cars ran separately in the third round, and I'm not sure why. I don't know if the Pontiac needed a little more time to make a repair, but at least they both still ran, so let's check them out.
They're the long color. 13, 19 at 100? He lit off.
Kind of a very popular.
And the Dart runs its quickest time yet, a 13.35 at 102.04 miles per hour. Like I said, for some reason the cars ran separately in the third round, so let's see what the GTO can do. As you can see, the GTO had some traction issues, but he was still able to power shift his way to a 13.63 at 102.96 miles per hour. Unfortunately, that wasn't quite quick enough to beat the Dart's 13.35 at 102.04 miles per hour, so the overall win goes to the Dart, taking 2 out of 3. Thanks for checking out this drag race, you guys, and I'll see you at the next one.